This is the pre-demoralizing 3. It's one thing when you know it's going in. It's another thing entirely when your teammate knows it's going in. But this, when your opponent knows it's going in before the ball even reaches your hand, this is a special kind of respect. And I've only ever seen it given to one other player in the history of the NBA. Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Swish Culture.
After years of studying under the tutelage of Steph Curry, Jordan Poole is having the best season of his young career. Going into tonight's game, Poole was averaging 22 points on 51% shooting from 3, leading the Warriors to victory over the Washington Wizards.
Except, that's not what happened. Maybe in an alternate timeline, Jordan Poole would be in a Warriors jersey, and between Curry, Pods, and Poole, Golden State would have the most talented guard lineup in the league. Instead, Poole Party now has his own team. Dunleavy saved a bunch of money without having to switch to Geico, and Stephen Curry came back from injury just in time to get one more opportunity to kick his protege's ass. Make no mistake, Poole was never a bad basketball player. While his time with the Wizards had its teething issues, they weren't unprecedented. I mean, he's done a great job in Washington, leading the Wizards to 4 places ahead of the Eastern Conference heavyweights, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bruh.
That being said, Poole's return to the Bay wasn't without its, clearly no one told these two that there would be cameras in last night's game. And what's this? Poole is still talking trash to Draymond Green and locked him up?
Well. How the turntables...
Besides all the unconventional happenings unfolding on the court, there's something rather interesting happening inside Golden State. Steve Kerr is up to something, and I'm going to expose every last detail. To find out, be sure to watch the entire video. Before that, however, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Swish Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready. You're about to get Steve Kerr is a very interesting coach. As the general manager for the Phoenix Suns, he was always interested in Stephen Curry as a player. After leaving the Suns to coach the Warriors, his approach would follow in the footsteps of Coach Greg Popovich. Pop, as he is known, is currently out with illness, but is the all-time greatest coach in the San Antonio Spurs history. His coaching style was a bit of a revolution in a sense that he didn't rely on the strength of one single uber-talented player to lead the team to wins. Basketball is a team sport, and he relied on his supporting cast to the point of essentially ridding his teams of the notion of a role player. As a coach who's been doing it for over 50 years, he's coached through different eras, doing so through the evolution of the game, the introduction and prominence of the three-pointer, as well as one mostly ignored fact: the ascension of the role player. While Pop put his guys in position to contribute from starters to bench players, Steve Kerr saw an opportunity with Curry that took this concept, applied the metaphysics of the Curry ball, and placed the Warriors on a stampede that would send the entirety of the basketball world into a tailspin. While other teams seemed to have caught up, it would appear that Golden State might have taken this concept to another level. First of all, there is only one Steph Curry. There are great shooters in this league, and 2 of them are on this Warrior squad. But nothing, and no one else in the modern NBA has that aura or commands the type of respect that is commanded by Stephen Curry. And if anyone ever tries to tell you they think otherwise, even fans of the purple and gold, they're full of Now we're going to get to the last thing that Stephen Curry did in just a few moments, but before that, I'd like you to take a look at something. Look at the best teams currently in the league. The Warriors, the Thunder, the Celtics, and the Cavaliers all have something in common. While these 4 teams all boast the highest net ratings, the gap between them and the competition is disgusting. Of course, the Golden State Warriors have been identified as the ringleaders and main culprit. With this margin between them and the rest of the league, despite having given one up to the Clippers when Steph got injured, this means that the Warriors aren't simply winning games. They are outright annihilating the competition by outrageous margins not being replicated by any other team in the league. This is where Stephen Curry comes in. Despite the canyon between the Warriors and the rest of the league, Steph Curry hasn't even sniffed his morning coffee. I don't think you guys understand, so let me clarify. Despite averaging 7 less minutes per game, Curry is averaging more rebounds, more assists, more steals, and 6 less shot attempts per game than he had last year. We're talking about a player who has the capacity to go absolute berserker mode, the player who currently holds the record for the most 50-point games after turning 30, the player who lit the league up for 60 just a few months ago, and giving the Warriors better defense, contributing to the overall second-ranked defense in the entire NBA. Folks, this man is currently chilling, laid back, and hasn't even given us what he can in an average game because he doesn't need to. Imagine if he did. Imagine if Stephen Curry was playing 34 minutes a night. Imagine if Steph Curry was actually playing hard and playing a lot of minutes. There are levels. And the Warriors with Steph Curry could turn this thing up a couple of notches if Golden State really had to. Right now, Steph is averaging 26 minutes, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and shooting 42% from 3 after casually scoring 24 points in 24 minutes against the Wizards. I am sick to my stomach. The true potential of this team is unconscionable. Steve Kerr knows this. He knows that Steph will easily give you 26 a night. He knows Wiggins can give you 20 a night. He knows that Kuminga can give you 20 a night. That's 66 points. The Warriors bench, best in the league, is averaging 61 points a game with Hield giving you 20 plus. If Kerr can get Kuminga to play his best games while on the floor with Steph Curry, that's 125 points the Warriors could put up on a nightly basis. More than any team needs to finish at the top. You pair that with the league's second best defense, and you start seeing what Golden State is capable of doing. Once you unpack what I've laid out, you begin to unravel the mystery behind the Steve, Stotts, and Stackhouse tandem. JK had a slow start, and the move to the bench was done in order to allow guys who had proven they could space the floor to get some minutes. This allowed Steve to play with the combinations and rotations in Steph's absence. What he discovered, however, was that the Jonathan Kuminga they saw last year was still there. What we all saw was Kuminga had an uptick in performance, less pressure coming off the bench, the ability to be the main offensive option with minutes alongside a shooter like Buddy Hield allowed him to be the best version of himself on the court. With Steph Curry's return, instead of throwing him back into the lineup next to Curry, Steve instead kept him coming off the bench to maintain his rhythm, and at least for the first night, it seemed to have worked. If Kuminga can make it work with Buddy Hield, there's no reason why it shouldn't be able to work with Steph. What Steve seems to be doing is allowing for a soft integration of Jonathan Kuminga's playstyle and strengths with Stephen Curry's in order to maximize his efficiency on the floor. While JK likes to go one-on-one and is literally unstoppable considering they have to foul him on every drive to the basket, the Warriors like to prioritize ball movement, especially with shooters on the floor. What's left is for Kuminga to figure out how to fuse the best aspects of his game to incorporate more ball movement, holding onto the ball for shorter periods, and finishing. If he does this while prioritizing attacking in transition with an eye for Curry on a trailing 3, I have no doubt that his insertion into the starting lineup would cause the level of havoc that the Warriors caused when they signed KD. Now obviously KD's talent was quite different from Kuminga's, as JK doesn't shoot nearly as well as Durant. If JK could watch KD film and seek out how KD was able to integrate his ISO style of play into Warriors basketball, this could take him to the next level. A slasher and finisher in transition and a creator on set plays while taking a few open threes is likely what Steve Kerr is after. If he can develop the chemistry with the starting unit to accomplish this feat, there would be no question about his potential or his fit with the team. This would be an important part of the development of his decision-making and make it more likely that Steve Kerr would utilize him as a closer, cementing his status as a permanent part of the team's future. While many won't celebrate the Warriors beating the Wizards, teams like this come along all the time and do get a win every now and then. The Warriors had trouble with them by playing down to the level of their opponents last year, but so far this season, they've done right by obliterating every last one of these below-average teams. While that's always been expected, it hasn't always happened, and that it continues to happen is a sign of what the Warriors are doing to the league this season. Knowing what lies ahead with some tweaks in the chemistry for Golden State is just icing on the cake. I'm very interested in seeing where the coaching staff and players take this through the rest of the season. Although I speak facts, I realize that not everyone will agree with the facts, and unfortunately, while it's a free country, the internet isn't free, so feel free to be wrong in the comments below. If not, post your clearly well thought out responses and let me know that you agree. Just be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next time, swish.